Hello guys, welcome back to our anime moment. Guys, please like the video and subscribe to my channel. Today is explanation of Renegade Immortal episode number 559 based on novel. So let's start. Holding the Dragon Emperor whip, Xian Luo lashed out. The whip flew directly toward the door and entered. A thunderous rumble echoed and the door trembled. The golden chaos inside became a blur and suddenly collapsed. A powerful force rushed into the door and tore an opening inside the chaos within the door. The opening was very deep, and it was unknown where it went. At a glance, it was dark, but a strange pressure came from the chaos. As the pressure squeezed, the opening rapidly closed. Xian Luo's eyes lit up and he waved the whip once more. He lashed out 9 times in a row, thunderous rumble echoing each time, and the dragon whip expanded to tens of thousands of feet long. In the end, the whip flew into the door and tore through the chaos, forming a path with its body. This road led to the immortal astral continent. It was like the path of reincarnation. When you reincarnate, aside from going against the law of the immortal astral continent, there is also the danger of being lost. Remember to follow the dragon and you will be on the path to reincarnate. Xian Luo's words echoed as his hands formed a seal and pulled apart. Second spirit, mountain demon, appear in the name of his old man. Xian Luo's hands moved and an illusion appeared before him. It was a snowy world and a heaven-piercing snowy mountain. The mountain was tall and seemed endless. It was covered in white and could shock anyone who saw it. There will be an illusion blocking the path to reincarnate. This mountain is a demon that was an ancient mountain on the immortal astral continent, but it was refined by me. I sacrificed countless souls until it became a celestial demon. This can protect your souls from scattering. Xian Luo waved his right hand and the snowy mountain flew toward the door. Cracking sounds echoed as the road made by the dragon was frozen in white. It extended endlessly. The path of reincarnation was now protected by the snowy mountain, but it was still not complete. Third spirit, sword celestial, I summon you. Xian Luo waved his left hand and a slit appeared between his eyebrows. A palm-sized sword flew out. I refined 99,999 broken planets around the edges of the immortal astral continent to make this sword. I then slaughtered my way into the celestial land to kill an equal amount of celestials and refine their souls to make this sword. This sword is fierce. The moment it appears, the celestials feel fear. Today, I'll send this sword to escort you all on the path of reincarnation. This will keep you all safe along the way. Xian Luo waved his left hand and the sword revealed a fierce aura as it flew toward the door. It was surrounded by shocking sword energy. This path had the dragon as the road, the snowy mountain as the guard, and the endless fierce sword to lead the way. Although the path was long, aside from the law of the immortal astral continent, all other issue had been resolved and the risk of reincarnating had been reduced greatly. Fourth spirit, Wind Devil, appeared before me. Xian Luo's preparations didn't just end there. The reincarnation this time was not happening on the immortal astral continent, so the key was to resist the law of the immortal astral continent. As he spoke, Xian Luo bit the tip of his tongue and spat out his precious essence blood. Blood was red, but the moment it appeared, it turned black. The black blood moved and gave off black gas. It instantly formed a figure that was surrounded by black fog before Xian Luo. This figure was blurry but was filled with devilish energy. This devilish energy was not from an ancient devil but from all the evil intent of living things. Once enough of these evil intents gathered, a devil would form. I have refined this devil for 3 reincarnations, and over the countless years, I have gathered the evil intent of 3.6 billion evil people. It has already gained intelligence and can be considered a devil spirit. In my ancient Dao clan, there is a devil tablet that absorbs the power of worship. It is one of my strongest 3 weapons. With this, it can turn into a seal so that your memories won't be damaged or go missing when you all reincarnate. Then, once you all are awakened, all your memories will be restored. It will also make it so that unless another Grand Empyrean searches your soul, no one else can find out the identity of your previous life. With this, the reincarnation will be complete. Xian Luo waved his right hand and the black fog flew toward the door. The path of ice inside the door was covered by black fog. The fog moved and looked terrifying, but it seemed calm and became something like a mirror. After taking out 4 of his strongest treasures, Qian Luo's expression didn't change at all. His cultivation was heaven-defying, and he was already prepared, so he recovered from this consumption instantly. He raised his right hand and formed a seal. A blood-colored sun suddenly appeared above his hand. This sun was originally invisible, but as Qian Luo looked at it, crackling sounds echoed. The originally illusory sun immediately turned corporeal. It could be touched, felt, and held. Wang Lin, this is made from this old man's grand empyrean power, and it can infinitely increase the power of your Dao spells. Use this with your dream Dao. Use this method to seal their memories in a dream until the day you arrive to awaken them. For them, this reincarnation will be a dream. The fist-sized blood-colored sun floated toward Wang Lin and was grabbed by him. When Wang Lin touched the sun, his heart trembled. He could clearly feel an aura flickering inside the sun that he couldn't understand but made his soul tremble. Is this the power of the 9 suns? Wang Lin looked at the blood-colored sun in his hand and silently pondered for a moment before he closed his eyes. His Dream Dao activated the moment he closed his eyes. The Dream Dao was Wang Lin's original spell and was already a powerful spell. With the treasure from Qian Luo, its power increased several-fold and almost reached the point of dreams becoming reality. An invisible ripple spread out from Wang Lin's body and shrouded everyone. Slowly, everyone, including Li Qianmai, closed their eyes and were immersed in a dream. Time slowly passed. In a flash, 1 incense stick of time passed. A blurry mark appeared between Wang Lin's eyebrows. The same mark flashed between the eyebrows of everyone else here as well. These marks seemed to resonate with each other like there was some strange connection between them. This connection would allow Wang Lin to find them in the future. With a crackling sound, the sun in Wang Lin's hand shattered. The moment the sun dissipated, Wang Lin opened his eyes and everyone else opened their eyes. The marks between their eyebrows were no longer flashing but extremely clear. An indescribable feeling appeared in everyone's hearts. Whether their eyes were opened or closed, they could feel each other. This was especially true for Wang Lin. He felt it even stronger. After you all reincarnate, this feeling will be a lot weaker. However, if you're not far away from each other, you can all feel it. Now step onto the dragon's body and this old man will send you guys off to reincarnate. Qian Luo's voice was filled with might, causing Wang Lin and everyone else to silently ponder. Qing Lin let out a long sigh and walked forward. He was the first to walk toward the door out of the cave world, and his daughter, Qing Shuang, followed. Zhu Yi was about to step forward, but something wrapped around him, causing him to stop. Big brother Zhu, please wait for a moment. I'll try to help you with your matter when you reincarnate. Wang Lin's words echoed in Zhu Yi's mind. Wang Lin, we will meet on the immortal astral continent. Qing Lin looked to be at ease. He turned around and clasped his hands toward Wang Lin. However, the reluctance in his eyes revealed his true thoughts. Qing Lin turned around and walked into the mirror-like fog. Qing Shuang's expression was cold, as if nothing in the world could affect her. However, before stepping into the fog, she stopped for a moment and looked back at Zhu Yi. I hope you won't bother me. Her words were as cold as her expression, but it felt like there was a deeper meaning. Qing Shuang disappeared into the fog. Zhu Yi silently pondered and revealed a bitter expression. Wang Lin looked at Zhu Yi. They had known each other for more than 2,000 years, and he was aware of Zhu Yi's infatuation with Qing Shuang and their story. Seeing Zhu Yi's bitter expression, Wang Lin let out a sigh. His right hand wiped past his own forehead and the mark between his eyebrows seemed to dim a bit, like something had been taken out. He then pressed it onto Zhu Yi's forehead. Go, big brother Zhu. I gift the seal on Qing Shuang's memory to you. After you two reincarnate, there might be some connection between the two of you. Perhaps the two of you will meet. Zhu Yi bitterly nodded and clasped his hands toward Wang Lin. He walked toward the door with confusion, not knowing if he should hold on. He disappeared into the door. The fourth to leave was Qing Shui. He arrived next to Wang Lin and looked at Wang Lin with a smile. Junior brother, I'll wait for you on the immortal astral continent. If you find my daughter first, please take care of her for me. Qing Shui smiled and looked at Red Butterfly. His fatherly love was very strong. Red Butterfly's eyes were red and tears flowed. She walked out a few steps to say something, but she bit her lower lip and didn't speak in the end. She watched Qing Shui walk toward the door and watched him disappear within. Tears flowed non-stop as she turned into a ray of red light and flew toward the door like a butterfly. The people beside Wang Lin departed one by one. Before leaving, each of them would clasp their hands at Wang Lin and then head for the door to pursue their dream. 13 knelt down in the void before Wang Lin. He raised his head, and his eyes were filled with determination. Teacher, 13 will be going. Even when my memory is sealed, I won't forget the kindness Master has shown me. Even when I reincarnate, I won't forget it. 13's words were filled with determination. His determination was extremely strong, and because of this, even if his memories were sealed, his instinct would remain. This instinct was the thing he cared the most about, his relationship with Wang Lin as Wang Lin's disciple. After 13, it was Sichu Nan. Sichu Nan had always been careful, and at this moment, he laughed as he flew toward the door. He took out a wine jug and threw it back at Wang Lin. Wang Lin caught the wine jug. I like to drink this life, but I don't know if I will in the next life. I'll give this jug to you. When you find me, give it to me. Ha ha, this old man must reincarnate as a king. Damn, it must be a king. Sichu Nan's laughter echoed as he disappeared into the door. However, it was unknown if his wish could be fulfilled. To reincarnate as a king on the immortal astral continent was something both Wang Lin and Xian Luo were uncertain about. I hope it goes as he wishes. Wang Lin had a strange expression. He had a feeling things would not go as Sichu Nan had imagined. The last to leave was Li Qianmai. She smiled at Wang Lin and didn't say much. She only said one line and then walked toward the door. I'll wait for you. If you can't find me, I'll wait for you reincarnation after reincarnation. Her words were gentle, but the determination in those words revealed her true personality. Li Qianmai had made a choice and wouldn't regret it. Outside the door, only Wang Lin and Xian Lu remained. Xian Luo looked at Wang Lin and slowly said, "They have all gone inside. This old man will activate my spells to resist the law of the immortal astral continent. When will you go in?" Wang Lin's eyes lit up. He looked at the door and suddenly said, "Can Senior send a few more people to reincarnate in the immortal astral continent?" "No problem. I originally thought there would be hundreds or thousands of people. Since there were less than 20 people, it's not too stressful for me. As long as you don't bring too many people, it won't matter." Xian Luo smiled. "I'll bother Senior to wait another 5 days for me. I'll bring some more people to reincarnate." Wang Lin's eyes became cold and his words were calm. There were a few people Wang Lin hadn't brought because he didn't want to put too much pressure on Xian Luo. There wasn't any direct hatred or any hatred between them. However, for the peace of the cave world, they were in a could be killed or could not be killed situation. After hearing Xian Luo's words, Wang Lin changed his mind. Wang Lin clasped his hands at Xian Luo and then turned around, taking a step. His figure distorted and disappeared. When he reappeared, he was at the edge of the formation between the inner and outer realms. The new formation was something Wang Lin had made himself. With his familiarity with it, he didn't hesitate to step through. It only took half an incense stick of time for him to enter the ancient star system. The 5 masters of the ancient star system. The sovereign has been sealed by me and Blue Dream has moved to the inner realm. That leaves Meow Yin, Void God, and 9 Heaven. If I leave them, these 3 will be trouble. Since they're weakened, I'll find them one by one and send them to reincarnate. Wang Lin's gaze was cold as he entered the ancient star system. His divine sense suddenly spread out in all directions. After the events at the core of the cave world, he had reached the peak of spirit void and his ancient Tao inheritance was almost complete. At this moment, Wang Lin had the power to battle late-stage arcane void cultivators. At this time, with this cultivation, along with his 7 essences and ancient Tao spells, these 3 injured masters of the ancient star system were not his match at all. As Wang Lin's powerful divine sense swept by, his eyes shined. He took a step forward and disappeared. In the eastern part of the ancient star system, there was a crescent-shaped planet. This planet had an irregular shape that was rare and was filled with death aura. There were even a few fierce beats on it. The planet was covered in yellow sand. There was no day on his planet, only night. Due it being incomplete, there was no grass or trees, only large rocks that rotated around the planet. At the top of the crescent shape, the yellow sand was floating in the air and the ground was dark. There was a rift there, and in the middle of the rift sat an old man. His face was pale and his eyes were closed as he healed. However, black blood would burst out from the corner of his mouth and drip to the ground, creating sizzling sounds. As he healed, smoke-like auras spread out from the planet and entered his body to help him heal. This old man was none other than Devil Master 9 Heaven, who had been seriously injured by Blue Dream. Back then, his Joss Flame realm had been destroyed and his soul had taken damage. He had barely survived and had managed to maintain the remaining life force inside his body. He was using the death aura from the planet to restore his Joss Flame realm. The surroundings were silent and the sky was dark, but the old man suddenly raised his head. His eyes opened and his pupils shrank. At the same time, a bright light erupted in the dark sky. As the light shined on the planet, a young man in white walked out. He had a head of white hair and a cold expression. Wang Lin's appearance caused 9 Heaven to gasp. He didn't hesitate to enter the rift to head to the depths of the planet. Wang Lin's body remained unmoving and his right hand tore at the earth below. The void before him rumbled and a giant rift expanded to the planet below. The rift touched the planet and the planet trembled as it cracked open. This crack quickly expanded. Thunderous rumbles echoed and the earth split too fast. In a flash, Wang Lin saw 9 Heaven, who was charging into the depths of the planet. Devil Master 9 Heaven almost lost his mind. He clearly felt the earth behind him being torn apart by a powerful force. He could feel Wang Lin's gaze locked onto his back. Wang Lin, are you going to kill me? There is no deep hatred between us. Let me go and I promise to never enter the inner realm. Devil Master 9 Heaven's scalp went numb and a huge wave was set off in his heart. Wang Lin's power surprised him. He never expected Wang Lin to become even stronger in such a short period of time. Don't be afraid. I won't kill you, I will send you to reincarnate. As Wang Lin spoke, he raised his left hand toward the planet below. He used both his hands to use heaven ripping at the planet below. If you want to kill, then kill. What is this about sending me to reincarnate? 9 Heaven screamed and desperately formed seals. He arranged all his spells before him and took out a large amount of treasures to resist this shocking force. The earth rumbled and the planet began to collapse. Cracks spread like crazy, and in just a moment, the crescent-shaped planet was torn in half by Wang Lin. The impact from the collapse turned into a powerful force that spread across the star system. Under this impact, popping sounds came from before Devil Master 9 Heaven. All his spells and treasures collapsed. He coughed out blood as he clenched his teeth and wanted to escape. However, Wang Lin silently appeared before him, and Wang Lin's palm landed directly between his eyebrows. I'm indeed here to send you off to reincarnate and not kill you. Wang Lin's calm words echoed. This was the last sound 9 Heaven heard. When Wang Lin's palm landed, his soul was sealed and put away by Wang Lin. Wang Lin easily sealed Devil Master 9 Heaven, who had been injured by Tao Master Blue Dream. From when he arrived to when he sealed 9 Heaven, it had only been a few breaths of time. Wang Lin's eyes became cold as he looked to the west. He could feel that was where Meow Yin was healing. Meow Yin was on a planet filled with spiritual energy. From afar, the planet was a water planet. There were no continents on it, only some islands. The rest of the planet was covered by the sea. The sea was not blue, but golden. Waves were set off in the golden sea by the wind. There were some beasts swimming in the sea, sometimes revealing their shadows. They were very large. Meow Yin was sitting in the deepest part of the sea, surrounded by darkness. However, if you looked closely, you would see a sea of white bones. These white bones were mostly animals' bones. As Meow Yin healed in the depths of the sea, there seemed to be a roar that spread through the water through a special method. Wang Lin, Blue Dream, the two of you will not die a good death. Meow Yin's eyes opened wide, his expression distorted. He had been injured by Blue Dream and his cultivation level had fallen to Spirit Void. It would take at least 100 years to return to his peak. He could only heal like crazy to try to shorten the time. As he roared, Meow Yin reached at the sea with his right hand. A vortex appeared and a long, black sea snake trembled and didn't dare to struggle as it was caught by the vortex. Meow Yin grabbed the head of the sea snake and bit its neck. He inhaled and drained all the essences of the sea snake. The sea snake instantly turned into a skeleton and was thrown aside. He was about to continue to cultivate when his expression changed greatly and he looked up. The sky distorted above the golden ocean and Wang Lin walked out. His eyes were like lightning as he looked at the sea below. Meow Yin, today I came to send you off to reincarnate. Deep inside the sea, Meow Yin had a fierce expression, but his pupils shrank and his eyes were filled with fear. You've already killed my avatar and taken my avatar's soul. Our grudge should have been over, so why are you here to kill me? It's difficult for cultivators like us to reach this cultivation level. If you treat me like this today, someone will definitely do it to you in the future. Dao Master Meow Yin's voice was sharp and it echoed from the bottom of the sea. The sound spread across the golden ocean and set off a huge wave. A large vortex formed, and it rushed toward Meow Yin. At this moment, Wang Lin was in the sky and Meow Yin was below the sea. They were separated by the vortex, but they could clearly see each other. Meow Yin didn't escape like Nine Heaven. He knew that his cultivation level had dropped too much and he had no chance of escaping from Wang Lin. I'm not going to kill you today. I'm just here to send you to reincarnate. Wang Lin looked at Meow Yin, who was inside the vortex. He raised his hand and casually reached toward Meow Yin. A giant palm appeared and charged toward the sea below. Meow Yin's expression changed greatly as he stared at Wang Lin. He struggled greatly in his heart. He understood Wang Lin better than Nine Heaven. When Nine Heaven heard Wang Lin say, reincarnate, he thought Wang Lin was going to kill him, so he had tried to escape. But Meow Yin didn't think so. Reincarnate where? As the giant palm reached toward him, Meow Yin let out a sharp scream. Immortal astral continent? As Wang Lin's words echoed, a thunderous rumble rang out. The giant palm penetrated the sea vortex and grabbed Meow Yin. Meow Yin's heart trembled and he bitterly gave up all useless resistance. He closed his eyes and allowed Wang Lin to grab him. After he was sealed, he was placed inside Wang Lin's storage space and fused with his avatar. The sea became calm, like nothing had happened. Wang Lin turned and walked toward the sky. There is still Heaven Master Void God. Wang Lin's eyes lit up and he looked into the distance. He found where Heaven Master Void God's original body was. Wang Lin had killed Heaven Master Void God's avatar and seriously injured his original body. After that, he never entered the inner realm, so their problems ended there. But leaving this person would be a big problem in the future. He didn't want to leave all the problems for Blue Dream and Master South Cloud. He was going to resolve it himself. His gaze swept past the stars and his body disappeared. In the southern part of the ancient star system, there was an area filled with debris. There was originally a planet here, but it had collapsed, creating an area of death covered in rocks. Heaven Master Void God remained here. He had given up going to the inner realm and even the idea of fighting. However, even he didn't know if this was temporary or permanent. At least for now, he didn't dare to enter the inner realm. He felt extreme fear in his heart toward Wang Lin. At this moment, he was sitting above a rock, cultivating. He was absorbing the power from the stars to nourish his body and feeling the changes around him. If no one disturbed him, he could sit here for thousands of years. Until his cultivation was fully restored, until he reached his peak once more, until he could come out and shake the cave world. He was confident if no one came to bother him. In truth, even if someone came to disturb him, Heaven Master Void God didn't mind as long as that person was not Wang Lin. However, while this thought was beautiful, reality was cruel. On this day, the star system looked normal, but an invisible pressure descended on this area. The arrival of this pressure caused this place to become unstable. Large amounts of scattered rocks shattered and were blown away. From afar, it looked like a halo scattering. Heaven Master Void God suddenly opened his eyes and revealed a bitter expression. He saw the white figure he could never forget walking toward him. That head of white hair was like a nightmare that caused his heart to tremble. He still came. Heaven Master Void God silently pondered as he looked at Wang Lin gradually closing in, and his eyes were filled with despair. Wang Lin, back then I wanted to possess you and wanted to kill you, but I failed. My avatar died and I made a vow to never enter the inner realm in my life. Can you let me go just this once? Heaven Master Void God rarely talked like this, but he had to at this moment. As he spoke, he stood up and clasped his hands at Wang Lin. Wang Lin stood on a rock 1,000 feet away from Heaven Master Void God. After silently pondering for a bit, he slowly spoke. You're not suitable to exist here. I'm going to the immortal astral continent. Many people have decided to reincarnate to the immortal astral continent. You go as well so I can be at ease. Heaven Master Void God's face changed and countless thoughts flashed through his mind, but in the end, he let out a long sigh. You are going to leave and don't feel safe leaving this old man here. Have you thought that once you have been gone for a while, new generations will be born in the ancient star system? Some might be stronger than this old man. Are you going to wipe them all out? I can't kill them all, but I can seal the various clans of the ancient star system and take the third step cultivators to be reincarnated. If they don't obey, then I'll kill them. Wang Lin's words were calm, but the meaning in his words would shock anyone. Heaven Master Void God didn't speak for a while. He looked at Wang Lin with an even more fearful gaze. Crazy. He is really crazy. He is forcing me to reincarnate. What choice do I have? Heaven Master Void God revealed a miserable smile as he gave up resisting and closed his eyes. Wang Lin waved his sleeve and put Heaven Master Void God in his storage space before leaving. The Kang Meng clan was a clan of the outer realm that had also participated in the war. Although the clan wasn't large, they had a third step ancestor. This ancestor had chosen to escape when he noticed the situation wasn't good, and he no longer came out. The clan was located in a region with almost 100 planets, but on this day, Wang Lin closed in on the Kang Meng clan. His arrival caused a thunderous rumble with each step, sending powerful shockwaves toward the Kang Meng sect. He stepped into the atmosphere of a planet and calmly walked toward the highest peak. On the top of the mountain, there was a large temple and a middle-aged man was sitting inside. The moment Wang Lin arrived, his eyes opened, revealing fear. He was about to get up when his body trembled and a right hand appeared behind him. It gently pressed down on his shoulder, keeping him pressed on the ground, and he was unable to struggle. I'm sending you off to reincarnate. This was the last thing he heard before his vision went black. A terrifying force that filled him with fear entered through his shoulder and sealed him. A moment later, Wang Lin left the Kang Meng clan. No one knew he had arrived and no one knew he had left. As he left, Wang Lin raised his right hand and gently waved at the area where the Kang Meng clan was located. More than a dozen ancient leaves appeared and formed a vortex. It flew toward the Kang Meng clan, sealing the star system and the entire clan. From now on, the entire clan's power to enter the stars are sealed. Their cultivation can never break past Nirvana Shatra. They are never to step foot among the stars. Wang Lin waved his sleeve and walked away. As he walked forward, all the clans with a third step cultivator suffered the same fate in the ancient star system. The third step cultivators were forced to reincarnate and the entire clan was sealed. In order to keep the inner realm safe for countless years, Wang Lin did this shocking and tyrannical thing. He took all the remaining third step cultivators with him. He sealed all the clans he passed along the way, even ones without a third step cultivator. As a result, it would become very difficult for third-step cultivators to appear in the ancient star system. For countless years, there wouldn't be a cultivators among the stars, as they wouldn't be able to leave their planets. Because Wang Lin had left mysterious seals around their clans and planets. There is no need to worry about the ancient star system. As for the other places, it is not time to explore them yet. Wang Lin stood outside the formation separating the inner and outer realms. He looked back at the ancient star system for a long time before he entered the formation and headed to All Heaven. At this point, Wang Lin had done the last thing he needed to do in the cave world, so he was about to leave. In All Heaven, the golden door gave off a dazzling glow. Xian Luo was sitting there as he looked into the distance, and he saw Wang Lin. Wang Lin's figure appeared and he bowed at Xian Luo. Junior has finished all my preparations and has brought a few more people. I hope Senior will cast the spell to reincarnate them. Wang Lin waved his sleeve and 8 people appeared. Their expressions were gloomy and their hearts were filled with reluctance, but they didn't dare to resist. After you all reincarnate, there will be no grievance between us. I hope you all know what's good for yourselves. Wang Lin's words were calm, and he waved his right hand. A powerful wind pushed the 8 of them into the dark door. Senior, Junior is about to leave. We will meet in the immortal astral continent. Wang Lin looked back at the stars and suddenly turned around. He turned into a ray of light as he charged at the door and disappeared inside. Xian Lu stood up and looked at the door with a serious expression. After Wang Lin entered, the door rumbled and slowly closed. Half an hour later, when it was about to close completely, a ray of ghostly light suddenly came from the depths and disappeared into the door. This video will end here.